Hello, good people of Earth. How are you? How's everything going? Did you miss me? Well, I missed you, and thank you for all the well wishes and the check-ins. Yes, I did have a cold that was a little trying for me, but I moved, so you may hear some construction in the background. Tried to insulate as well as I could. And then my daughter decided to move. So I helped her move back from California to Colorado. And it's kind of perfect timing, actually, because I've been queuing up the topic for this meditation, healing grief, for 5 or 6 weeks. So if you caught it on the Psychic iCloud, you're welcome. But I wanted to talk a little bit about grief and leaning into it when we must, because it's inevitable and it's part of our human existence. Things happen in our world that cause us to grieve. It could be the death of a family member or death of a friend or someone else that you care about. It could be a move, it could be changing jobs. It could be a breakup. There are a million things that we will eventually experience in our lives that we grieve over. Grief is natural. Now, with that being said, during this meditation and hypnosis session, I'm going to invite you to lean into that. We're going to do it safely, comfortably, and easily. But whatever we resist will persist. So if we try to self-medicate ourselves to avoid feeling the grief, like any other uncomfortable feeling, then we're just delaying the inevitable. So I want to give you a safe space to explore your grief of whatever. You can be very specific, you can be very generic. But giving you a safe place to move through it. We have all of these emotions for a reason, and it's not healthy to not feel what we need to feel. As someone that worked very, very hard in the chiropractic, acupuncture, and hypnosis, psychic reading field, I was often so busy that I didn't have time to grieve actual events that had happened in my universe. And it wasn't intentional resistance, but it was consequential resistance. Like I had so much to do that I just didn't have the time. I didn't take the time to process. And as I said, whatever you resist in any form or fashion will persist. It will manifest elsewhere. And some of what I experienced was manifesting in my physical health that you guys have heard about. Yeah. Was it all grief related? Yeah, some of it, and I will share with you some of the things that I've unearthed in this time since I closed my office. And I will also share with you that I have continued to have help with other hypnotherapists, other psychic readers and healers, friends, family, traditional therapy. Like, guys, try it all. Something's going to help you. And given me assistance, that safe space to move through, to process some of the grief. Now, one of the things that was unearthed in hypnosis was an event that I had talked about several times, more matter of fact, when I was 15. And again, another episode, I'll go into the dirty details, but it was traumatizing, and I didn't process the trauma, and I didn't get to grieve that my inner 15-year-old was still processing that trauma, that hurt, and sort of the cascade of events that happened as a result. I had a chiropractor back in the late 90s steal my whole practice out from under me. I'd spent like $9 grand in 1997 for a broker to help me sell the practice, because I grew this big practice and I always wanted to help people in a different form or fashion. I've come to embrace chiropractic and embrace all that it has helped me with, including put a DR in front of my name. But there was always something more that I wanted to do. I wanted to do more with exercise and physical fitness. And then when I picked up psychic readings, and I wanted to help people on a deeper spiritual level, on a deep soul level. So anyway, the process was going to be that I was going to sell in my practice, and then I was going to do more, almost like a physical therapist, more exercise therapy, and just scale it back. And again, I had no support. I had nobody helping me. I had no guidance, single mom, just trying to do her best. But this fella decided he didn't want to actually pay me for my practice, which we had negotiated and signed in contracts. He thought, no, it'll just be simpler to open an office across the street, take all the patients over there, and leave her without a practice and all of the bills, the rent, the overhead, the other contracts. So that was great. And he had the help of my office manager at the time. And as a single mom of a then 5-year-old, I just had to pull up my bootstraps, get back to work, figure it out, found a new space, settled with the guy I originally bought the practice from. He fucking sued me with the help of this guy. And vice versa. So he literally helped this other chiropractor destroy my practice. And then he was going, but I have a contract with her, so I'm still going to get paid. So I had to take a mortgage out, or second mortgage out, on my first townhome, and in order to sell. So anyway, I had a lot of shit thanks to a chiropractor who fled to Florida so he could file bankruptcy and not have to pay me a dime after I won my suit. Yes, that was super. And now I think he's in Wisconsin. I don't know. But yeah. But again, I didn't have time to grieve. I didn't have time to process. And so a year or two ago on LinkedIn, my former office manager, who was involved with this other chiropractor and helped destroy my practice, reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, I wanted to tell you after all this time, sorry. And I was like, I did not respond, but I did sit with that. And I was like, I had not really processed that. I had something that was huge. I was stressed out. I was a single mom of a 5-year-old, you know, just trying to figure shit out. I didn't have any support. And somebody decimates my income. So I couldn't take my next step. I had to go back to what I knew, which was chiropractic, and evolve that again, build it up from zero, thanks to the actions of this chiropractor and my office manager, somebody I trusted, somebody I paid really well. So I got to work through that grief and that sense of betrayal and everything, because it, you know, thankfully, she'd opened up that wound. And I realized that I had been carrying that for 20 some years instead of taking the time to actually process through that. Now, when we know better, we do better. So I'm here to help y'all know more and do more. Hopefully this helps. Because I don't want anyone to suffer the indignities that I suffered, first off. But when shit does happen, I want you to have some tools that I've learned along the way to manage your grief in a safe, comfortable, I swear it can be comfortable way. Because when I sat with this and I sat with what my office manager did to me and what my colleague had done to me, I also got an opportunity to sit with another colleague who stole a very prominent patient from me and then became a team doctor for the Broncos. I used to practice in Denver. And this guy parlayed stepping on me, stepping on my neck, into a space where he was written about, however shortly, in a book by a very prominent Denver Broncos player. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I literally recruited this patient at a health fair and told him that, you know, what I do can help him run faster, can help him recover from injuries faster, can help him run away from 350-pound linebackers. And it all worked, of course, because chiropractic is amazing. But then this other chiropractor, I mean, like, who knew that chiropractic, they will honestly eat their young? And the misogyny, like, these two guys thought that I was perfect, you know, for, you know, picking at my bones. Anyway, so this was before the other guy actually stole my practice. And it was just really shocking. So getting that email from my former office manager, I got an opportunity to sit with both of those incredibly difficult times when I had worked so hard and then just wanted to pivot so that I could actually provide myself the path, the career path that was going to be more fulfilling for me. Now, we can get into the minutia of havingness and self-esteem and on like that. I know it all. We're going to catch it. We're going to bring that into our grief, because sometimes we don't lean into the grief because we don't have the confidence that we can handle it, that we can make it through, that we have the tools, that we have the coping skills. I'm here to tell you, you do. I'm here to tell you that you are bigger, stronger, more powerful than you think. Maybe you do think, and you just need a little zhuzh. Anyway, so, and I bring up the single mom thing because I was already just trying to take care of my kid. And I'm like, why? Like, why you want to fuck with me? Why you want to damage me? You know, and this chiropractor that stole the patient, I'd given him an adjusting table, and I had him, the way he was able to do it is I hired him as a fill-in doctor so that I could take my very first vacation. I was taking my daughter to Disneyland. Oh, you know, because I was finally making money. I was paying off my loans, and I was doing really well. And of course, I wanted to treat my kid, right? And so I get back from Disneyland to learn that this high profile NFL football player was no longer going to be my patient, no longer going to refer patients to me, no longer going to give me good testimonials, you know, because somebody else was unscrupulous. So after 20 some years, I got to grieve that. I'm inviting you to not wait 20 years to process your grief. I'm going to give you some tools where you can just walk head into that storm, and just like a bison who's built up that big hump on his back, he's done that, like bison in general, because they're plains animals. They're used to being out on the plains during whatever kind of weather, snowstorms, windstorms, rainstorms. And with this big hump, they're able, and this giant head, if you think about it, they're able to just kind of plod through the storm because they know instinctively that the quickest way through a storm is through the storm. You walk through the eye of the storm. You guide your family, you guide your herd through your storm. And that's what's going to keep you safe. So we're going to embody our own internal bison, plains buffalo. And if you ever get a chance to see him in the wild, you could drive through Colorado, and they're in pastures on either side of the highway all over the place. They're really quite majestic. It's a marvel of engineering. You know, God and his engineers really figured that one out. But before we start the meditation, I want to touch on the idea of good grief. So good grief is when we have something, some change, some momentum. Maybe we get married. Maybe we move to a fabulous new place. Maybe we get the job that we've always wanted. 100 other things. We have an opportunity then to mourn what we're leaving behind, because there is a grief. I went through a short grief from going to being a parent, to being pregnant, to being a mom. I loved being pregnant. I felt really good. Plus, I could still do everything I needed to do. I could teach aerobics classes. Yes, I used to teach aerobics. I used to teach step aerobics when we built our own steps. Yes, indeed. This was before they came out with the plastic ones and the convertible ones and whatnot. So yeah, I was kind of a ground floor step aerobics instructor. And then I taught regular aerobics, and it was great during chiropractic class because I would practice sharing my new anatomy knowledge with the participants in the class while we were doing class, and that helped reinforce using, like, there's a tiny rotator in the gluteal area of the body, and we would do leg lifts, and we said it's called the gemellus muscle. We're to our gems. Isn't that funny? And so I wanted to do more of that. But going from pregnant to being a mom, I grieved not being pregnant anymore. It didn't take a long time because my kid's amazing. And this is before I learned my psychic tools, but I had awareness that that was cool. You know, I was out to here, but still physically fit. And, you know, it's kind of like being pregnant is kind of like wearing a cowboy hat. You know, you have to navigate getting in through doors and things like that. You have to do that with a big pregnant belly. But of course, Miss Shanti showed up and she's amazing and much cooler out than in. And she just celebrated 31st birthday. Pew, pew, pew. So yeah, she's a joy. She's the love of my life. She's the reason I try so hard and I work so hard. And I just want to make this world a little better place. So to raise the vibration to help folks heal. So we're going to look at grief and we're going to honor good grief, you know? So even if you get married, that's a joyous thing, but you're grieving your singlehood. You're grieving living alone. You get to grieve, you know, being with only your kids. Now you're going to be a blended family and just whatever it is. Anyway, so there's grief and then there's good grief. So it's things that are happy, but there's still something to mourn in the transition, and to not be afraid of that, because some people have a fear of success, and genuinely it's not a fear of success, it's a fear of the grief that we find ourselves in when we're moving to our next step, when we're evolving. So in this meditation and hypnosis session, going to help you create a safe space to process grief. Okay, everybody ready? Okay, so we're going to take a very brief sponsor break, as one does. And in this moment, just get in your comfy chair, get a cup of tea or refill your water, kick off your shoes, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, y'all, let's go. And by let's go, I mean let's relax. Quiet. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And take this moment, this meditation space, this quiet space of giving to yourself, to like yourself. Thank yourself for showing up, for tuning in, dialing in, listening to this meditation. Be in awe of yourself. You are so freaking cool just because you showed up. Take that in. Be in your original vibration of awesome. And when you're ready, go ahead, close your eyes all the way down. Take a deep cleansing breath. And allow yourself to just get heavy in your chair. Get heavy where you lay. Just sink into the joy of relaxation, the comfort. This is my safe place. This is my calming space. And if you check out or go unconscious right now, you're still going to get all the benefits of the meditation. It's going to be great. Breathe. Relax. Deeper down, deeper down, deeper down. And in the next moment, we're going to count backwards from 5 to 1. And when we get to 1, you'll be in your deepest state of relaxation. We'll be accessing your subconscious mind, where all your tools are, all your gifts are stored. Your subconscious mind is always there to protect you. It will always tell you the truth. Some of that truth is that you are awesome, that you already know this. This is a remembering. Take another deep breath. And as we sink into relaxation, 5, 4, 3, doubling, tripling that relaxation, 2, 10 times more relaxed, 1, all the way down, asleep. Down, 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 quiet, safe, relaxed, compassionate rest. And know that by taking this time to reset and be completely at peace, when we come up and out, it'll be like we've had a beautiful night's sleep. We'll be focused, calm, yet energetic. Unless you're listening to this to fall asleep, at which point you'll go down, deeper down, and have a beautiful rest and take all that you've learned, all that you're meant to be remembered, into your next day. So imagine in this deep, relaxed state that you are in a bubble, your energy field, your aura, your personal space. And that's a bubble about 3 feet around you in all directions. And create a grounding cord, a connection between you and the center of the earth. The center of the earth, let's imagine, is a pasture or a patch of grass or a piece of land that you can just ground your grounding cord into. Maybe it's a tube of light. Maybe you're using a tree trunk for your grounding cord. Just really tether yourself to the center of the earth. And the center of the earth we're going to postulate is neutral energy. So when you ground and release energy to the center of the earth, it gets transformed into neutral energy. So simply by grounding and setting yourself on release to gently, effortlessly let go. That's perfect. You are giving yourself and you're giving the planet a healing. How cool is that? The gift that literally keeps on giving. So as you sit here grounded in your bubble, put your attention, be a point of light behind your eyes and in between your temples. This is your center of headspace. And if you see any energies in there with you, any other people, and you sense anything, just invite it out. Center of your head is for you and you alone. And with practice, you'll start to know when someone has jumped in your head. Nope. Get out. Get in your own space. So be in the center of your head, be a point of light, be grounded in your bubble in this deep, relaxed state. And for this healing, give your bubble grounding cord, even yourself as a point of light, give it a color. Maybe it's yellow or green or some color on the web colors on your computer. just any color but white or black. You can be ecru, or you can be slate gray, but we just don't want to encourage unconsciousness. So pick a color that makes you feel even more safe, even more calm, even more relaxed, even more comfortable. Be in your bubble. I call this your safety safe. It's your safe place. Nothing bad can happen when you're in your safe place. You're safety safe. So just be there for a moment. Just be content. Be comfortable. Like yourself. And appreciate this deep, relaxed state. Appreciate being in the center of your head, being in control. And when you're ready, from the center of your head, project out before you a reading screen. Maybe you're sitting in a theater and you have a great big theater screen. Maybe you're looking at a monitor that's floating in the space outside your bubble. Whatever makes sense to you. Psychic whiteboard, psychic chalkboard. It all works. And on that reading screen or psychic chalkboard, I want you to write the word grief. G-R-I-E-F. And just sit with the word grief. Stay in the center of your head and take an inventory of your body. What do you feel in your body when you look at the word grief? You might feel a tightness somewhere. You might feel some tingling. You might feel nothing at all. Just sit with that and let that comfortable color flow through your body, soothing you even more, grounding you, reinforcing that sense of safety, comfort, liking yourself. Perhaps you even feel confident. And just sit here, take all the time you need until any sensations that come up when you look at the word grief dissipate or become manageable. And if you experience something uncomfortable by simply looking at the word grief, give yourself some grace for when you actually are dealing with the emotion of grief. It is as rich and thick and chocolatey as it comes. So this is a baby step for helping heal, push through any times when we are grieving. Take another deep breath and let it go. And from the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, looking at the word grief on a reading screen or psychic whiteboard, what I'd like you to do now is change the size of the word. Change the font. Make it bigger or smaller. And then see what happens to your space. Take inventory. If that's uncomfortable, switch directions. If you made it small and it was uncomfortable, try making it bigger. If it was big and making it uncomfortable, make it smaller. And notice what you notice. And as you're noticing this, realize that you are moving energy. You are controlling energy by shifting the space, shifting the appearance of the word grief. In this next moment, I want you to shrink down the letters that create the word grief. Make it appear on your reading screen as if the word has moved far, far away from you. And so the optics make it look very small. And then notice what you notice. Do you feel more safe? Feel less safe? Do you need to reinforce your grounding cord? Maybe you start to feel happy because you're in control. Whatever you feel is whatever you feel, and it's all perfect. In the next breath, bring the word grief back towards you in your mind's eye, back to a size that's more readable. And this time, change the font. Change the shape of the letters. If they were all lowercase, perhaps make them uppercase. If they were in Calibri, maybe change it to Verdana or Times New Roman. And if you don't know what those are, maybe change from block letters to cursive. Have fun with this. And now change what the dot over the I in Greek looks like, if it's in lowercase. Some of us used to put hearts over our eyes. Some would put smiley faces. Do something a little silly with the dot over the I. And now take the entire word and paint it or decorate it into something that makes you laugh out loud. Maybe make the whole word into a dinosaur or a clown, or maybe it has glitter coming out of it. Whatever you can imagine, just make the letters of the word grief a little silly, a little amusing. It's the same word, you've just changed its appearance. And by changing its appearance, you change the charge off of the word. You might notice that you're smiling now. Wait, I'm looking at grief and I'm happy? What is this sorcery? It's no sorcery. It's you. It's your energetic tools. This is nothing new. This is who you are. You've always had this. You've always had access to this. This is a relearning. So when you've made the letters of the word grief look as silly as they possibly can, go ahead and just erase the entire thing off of your reading screen. And notice what you notice in your physical body. Yeah. What may have been uncomfortable in your physical body, for many, by doing this exercise, by doing this hypnosis and meditation, you actually feel lighter, feel enthusiastic, feel ready to do it again because it was fun. So anchor that into your space so that the next time you have something to grieve or have grief around something, it's enjoyable. Like, I'm going to work through this. It's going to be easy. It might even be enjoyable. And I still get to work through the really sticky stuff. And give yourself credit for being brave, for being courageous enough to go through this, to imagine leaning into grief. You're so brave. You did it. And you made it out the other side. So take your energetic victory lap. Give yourself a psychic high five. And know that you can do this with any juicy topic. I did it with the word betrayal. That was a juicy one. But then I was giggling at the end. Because people do dumb shit when they only know how to do dumb shit. And I released my attachment to that. Because I didn't want to vibrate at any victim energy. So be in your bubble, grounded in the center of your head, being stoked about this energetic victory you just created for yourself. I can control my response to grief. I am awesome. I am strong. I am amazing. And I am capable. And much, much more. Say that to yourself. Say it out loud. Really own your healing through your fifth chakra. That's your communication space. So in this deep, relaxed state, feeling courageous, ready to take on the world, unafraid of grief, allow yourself to revel in your accomplishments, in your ability to manage your grief. Now, when you're ready, take and destroy that theater screen or reading screen or your psychic whiteboard. Just toss it into the universe and let it become pixie dust. And allow yourself to be where you are, seated where you are, comfortable and relaxed, ready for a great night's sleep, or ready to get up and go and get some stuff done. And anchoring in the concept that even hearing the word grief or grieving or grieved, the concept, possibility that you have something to grieve, that you can do so in a healthy, safe manner, fully conscious, fully aware. And that's the way true healing begins. True healing on the deepest soul level. In a moment, we're going to count back up from 1 to 5. At which point your eyes will come open and be ready to take on the day. If you're sleeping, that will just be a cue to go deeper down into that beautiful REM sleep, delta sleep. 1, feeling really good about yourself. 2, being grateful that you took this time for yourself. 3, feeling empowered, maybe even a weensy bit emotional as the grief moves out of your physical body. 4, again, feeling empowered, encouraged, capable, strong, and safe. You can handle this and whatever the world throws at you. And 5, eyes open, wake up. Hello, good people. You did it. You're fantastic. You are able to conquer anything. So we will continue these meditations. We're going to go into some more juicy stuff because I'm here to give you tools so that you can have a better, more fulfilling life and not hold yourself back or be held back by something real or imagined that is stuck in your space. Again, these meditations are for listening and re-listening, sharing with your friends, sharing with your husbands, your kids. Like, listen, I got a healing for you. May not be this particular one, but I've got there are 80 some meditations on this podcast, YouTube channel. So take this enjoyable, safe, wonderful healing. And if you need to contact me or would like to be a guest on the show, share your story and have a real live healing via the Zoom, reach out at hello@drcynthiasmith.com. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. And thank you for this incredible healing for yourself and the planet. I'm your guide, Dr. Cynthia Smith, and this is the Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast. Namaste and good night.